All right. So, good morning and happy New Year's Eve. We are going to start on our backs, and I want you to create a starting posture that just sounds really comfortable and inviting for you, one where you feel like you really can connect to your body. Um, Suggestion, you may want to have a little support for underneath the head and behind the neck, so you can create like a little neck roll using your blanket or a beach towel. And then if you want to have something rolled up behind the knees, whether it's a rolled up blanket or towel or even a bolster, go with whatever feels best. But certainly if there's some other posture calling to you, make your way into that posture or that shape. So coming on the back, or wherever you are, extend the legs out, supporting the head, turn the palms upward, just allowing the shoulders to relax away from the ears. Letting those feet splay open to begin to release into the hips and the low back a little bit. And certainly if you are healing in your low back or have low back pain, you can always bend the knees and just place the feet on the floor, and that will support the low back a little bit better. But go with what feels best for your body. And we're going to start with a little body, mind, heart scan, just bringing some mindfulness and presence into our practice. So we'll start by just taking a moment to mentally scan the body with our attention. So as you do that, just kind of notice your physical body, any sensations in your body at this moment. So often we're kind of wired to locate what is wrong, quote unquote, right? But instead, as you begin to locate sensation in your body, um, do it with like just a dispassionate awareness of what's going on, using descriptive words rather than labeling it as good or bad. And you may find that there are some areas that feel strong or spacious or um, are feeling that ease or whatever might be your experience in this moment. And certainly we can have different places in the body that feel differently. We may have two different kind of competing sensations at once. So as you kind of scan the body and bring some mindfulness to your practice this morning, know that this is just information. This is our body's way of telling us how it feels. And it gives us an opportunity to respond to whatever our body's needs are so that we can show up for ourselves in a intentional way to best support ourselves. So allow that to happen for a moment or two here. And then begin to notice any thoughts that are present. Just approaching those thoughts with compassion, kindness, and acceptance. Our brain's job is to think, and sometimes our thoughts can be really random or even seemingly weird, as we might label them. But those thoughts are, again, just information. It's just where our brain is at in this moment. And so just checking in. And then begin to notice any feelings that are present, feelings or emotions that you're holding on to in this moment. And again, we can have seemingly opposite feelings at once. And so just locating yourself here. Now begin to slow and deepen your breathing. So we're going to start expanding our breath into the belly, the rib cage, the chest, inflating in all directions. And then exhaling out through an open mouth, softening into the belly, letting go of all the breath. Continue to breathe like this. Really feel that expansion and inflation. Maybe even hold at the top of the breath. And then exhale out very slowly, releasing all of the breath, almost like steam being released from a teapot or a tea kettle. Nice and slow and easy. And so maybe that is a release of this week, the year, all of the stuff that's gone on. We might need a lot of breathing for that, right? But today we're going to really focus on bringing mindfulness to our practice and to our life. With the events of last year, we might have felt like we were getting tossed around a little bit, constantly having to navigate these new horizons. There was a lot of emotion, a lot of drama, and collectively, but also whatever we went through personally. And what can happen is we can get kind of swept away by our emotions. We can get swept away by our circumstances, and then we kind of disconnect. We are no longer in a space of being mindful and intentional. John Kabat-Zinn says that mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. And so bringing mindfulness into our experience allows us to be fully present in our lives. It allows us to live life to its fullest rather than just feeling like we're being tossed about. It anchors us in. And so maybe there are some specific areas in your life that you want to bring some additional mindfulness to. For example, maybe over the course of this past year, we've gotten disconnected from our eating and we're not eating in a way that's as mindful. Or maybe we're not as mindful in our conversations or our relationships. Maybe we're not as mindful in our work life and really being present to that and being able to direct our focus. Whatever it may be, and it may be all areas of our life, we need to apply some additional mindfulness. But one of the ways that we can begin is breath, through our breath. Our breath is our entry point to mindfulness. It's bringing consciousness and awareness to something that takes place unconsciously. So we can choose to breathe in a way that is intentional, harnessing the full power of the breath, focusing our attention on our breathing. And when we do that, we are now here. We can't breathe in the past. We can't breathe in the future. When we have awareness of breath, we can anchor ourselves into this present moment and receive all that is available in this moment. Thich Nhat Hanh said, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. And so allow yourself to anchor in just through this breath, starting there. And maybe there's an intention that you'd like to hold for your practice or even for the coming year as we are on the cusp of a new year. So bring your intention into your mind and into your heart and into your practice. On the next inhale, we'll go ahead and stretch and reach the arms up overhead. Begin to reach the toes away from the body. Just feeling all the length here. Maybe we flex the feet, stretching into the backs of the legs. Maybe we start to circle out the wrists and the ankles a little bit, just beginning to awaken the body slowly and gently. Begin to bring your right knee in toward your chest. So you can bring the hands below the knee or behind the knee. And we're just going to start circling the knee out. So continue to move here with your breath, feeling every sensation as you go. When we are mindful in our yoga practice, we can receive so much more out of our practice. And it also helps to prevent potential injury because we are tuned in to our bodies. Take it in the other direction. And starting to lubricate that hip joint. Good. Flex the foot and then begin to draw that knee a little tighter in. Now, if you'd like to, you can also begin to bring your forehead toward your knee. And then we can add some core work by elevating the left leg. So flex that foot and just elevate the heel above the mat. Squeeze here. On the exhale, lower back down, but keep that right knee drawn in. Interlace the fingers behind the right leg and take the right heel high. Point and flex the foot a few times. This will help to release the back of the leg. Stay connected to your breath. Nice job. We're going to bend that knee, hug the knee back in. Bring the forehead toward the knee and then begin to elevate the left heel maybe a little higher. So we're at about a 30-degree angle. Again, squeezing here, lots of breath. On the exhale, lower back down. Take the right heel high, interlace the fingers behind the right leg, point and flex the foot. Nice job. Last time, we'll bend that right knee in, hugging it toward our chest. And then this time, we're going to take the left heel up even higher. So it's like we're planting that heel in the crease between the back wall and the ceiling. You can bring your forehead toward your knee if you like, squeeze it out. Nice job. Exhale, lower the heel. And then we'll take a hold of the right knee with the left hand, begin to guide that across the body. Right hip will lift, right shoulder stays grounded, gaze over your right hand. Lots of breath. Now, we never want to force the twist, so pay attention if your body is pushing back or resisting. Don't force, just hold in that space where the edge is and breathe into it and allow the body to organically go a little deeper just by time, breath, and gravity. Nice job. Slowly begin to unravel. Extend the right leg out. Coming back to Savasana for just a moment. Close your eyes and then just notice the difference between the two sides already. And a lot of times we forget to check in, like to notice those subtle changes that take place in our practice and then also in our life. So being more aware, being more present, being more connected. Go ahead and bring that left knee in. Okay, again, you can interlace below the knee or behind, and then we're going to begin to circle the knee out. Starting to bring some movement into that left hip, lubricating the hip joint here. Take it in the other direction. Good. Hug it in. Maybe bringing your forehead toward your knee, flex the foot. And then again, we can get into that core by extending that right heel away from the body, just hovering it above the mat. Squeeze, hugging the muscles to the bone, drawing your navel toward your spine. On the exhale, lower down. Interlace your fingers behind the left leg. Heel comes high, and then we'll point and flex the foot. Beginning to open the hamstring here and the back of the leg. Nice. Bend the knee, hug the knee in, lifting up if you'd like, forehead toward the knee, and then we're going to pick up that right heel at about 30 degrees. Squeeze here, lots of breath. On the exhale, lower down. Left heel goes high, interlace the fingers behind that leg, point and flex. Awesome job. One more time. Hug that knee in. Right heel comes high now, like we're putting it in the crease of the back wall and ceiling. Bring your forehead towards your knee if you like. Squeeze it out. Checking in with your breath. Good. Lower down. And then we'll take a hold of the right knee with that, or the left knee with the right hand, guide it across the body. Check in. We'll soften that left shoulder to the mat, maybe gaze to the left if that feels good. Breathe here. Good job. Slowly unravel. And then we'll bring both knees in. Now, if you had something under the knees, go ahead and move it out of the way. And then we'll hug the knees in here. Give them a nice squeeze. Float the feet to the floor, about hip width distance apart. And really plug into the feet. So lift up the toes, spread the toes wide, and then find all 4 points. So the outer edges of the balls of the feet, outer edges of the heels, just grounding in, then float the toes back down, keeping the feet nice and wide. Draw your navel toward your spine, flattening the back toward the mat. And then we'll bring the hands alongside the hips here. Nice. On the inhale, we're going to press into those feet, begin to lift the hips and lift the right arm up overhead. On the exhale, slowly lower down top to bottom. So upper back, mid back, low back, then the hips, floating the hand back down. Good. We'll do that on the left now. Inhale, pressing, lifting, hips lift, left arm lifts all the way up overhead. Exhale, floating back down, upper back, mid back, low back, and then your seat. Good. And we'll keep flowing like this, lifting the right, inhaling as we lift those hips, exhaling as we lower everything back down slowly, intentionally. Nice. And the left. Exhaling, lowering down. Good. One more time each side. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Lowering the back to the mat, toe heel the feet to the edges of your mat with the knees bent. Take the arms to the sides like wings. On the exhale, lower the knees over to the right. Turn the left palm down. Take your gaze to the left. A little brain yoga. Inhale, bring the knees up, palms up, gaze up. Exhale, knees go to the left. Right palm turns down, gaze to the right. Inhale, knees up, palms up, gaze up. Exhale, knees right, gaze left, left palm turns down. Nice. Inhaling, knees up, palms up. Exhale, take it to the other side. Nice job. One more time each side. And exhaling, lowering. Dynamic stretching, like we're doing here with flow, is so good for the body, for the mind. It also enables us to really anchor into our practice in a way that's a little more mindful than when we kind of check out in our static poses. Bring the knees in, give them a squeeze, and then just roll to one side. Pause there for a moment. Sylvia Boorstein said, mindfulness is the aware, balanced acceptance of the present experience. It isn't more complicated than that. It is an opening to receiving the present moment, pleasant or unpleasant, just as it is, without either clinging to it or rejecting it. So this brings up two yogic concepts called raga and vesha. Raga is clinging to, attachment to, holding on. And usually we hold on to the things that we like and desire or that feel good to us. And then vesha is aversion, rejection, pushing away, resistance. Usually those are the things we don't like or don't want. But here it's telling us to be dispassionate about it, to receive the present moment, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, just as it is, without clinging or rejecting. That brings us into a space of mindfulness and awareness, but also it allows us to be in a space of acceptance of whatever comes our way, knowing that things will come and go that are pleasant and unpleasant. And we have to hold things loosely, just allow them to flow as they will. Slowly begin to come on your hands and your knees. If you would like to, you can place a blanket underneath the knees for support, especially if you're healing in the knees. We're going to bring the hands underneath our shoulders, fanning those fingers wide, and index fingers will point forward, but we want to create J's with the index fingers and thumb. So spread the thumb out a little bit. Good. On the inhale, lift the tail, press the navel down, slide the heart forward, and lift your crown. On the exhale, gently curl the tail under, draw the navel in, round your back, chin to chest. Inhale, lift the tail, press the navel down, slide the heart forward, lift the crown. On the exhale, gently curl that tail under, draw the navel in, round your back. Good. Couple more like this. Feel the movement rippling up the spine, starting at the seat, ending at the head in both directions. Also feel the movement of the breath through the body, linking your breath and your movement together. Nice job. Come neutral into tabletop. So we'll have a nice flat back here, lifting from the underside of the belly. Draw that left knee in slightly, and then we'll take the right foot behind us with the toes pointing down at about hip level. Good. If it's available, bring the left bicep by the left ear. Draw the navel in so we don't have a big sway in the low back. And then on the exhale, we'll bring the elbow to the inside of the knee, or just bring the knee in if you're just doing the leg. Inhale, extend and lengthen. This time on the exhale, we're going to bring the elbow to the outside of the knee. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Exhale, bring it to the inside. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, outside. Beautiful. Hold extending here front to back. Then take that left hand down. We'll swing that leg all the way across over to the left. Coming on the edge of the foot, bring your shoulder toward your left shoulder toward your left hip. Open that right side up. Feel that big stretch into the ribs and the intercostal muscles. This is also stretching our lung tissue. Nice job. Slowly unravel, bring that right knee down, keeping the hips lifted, drop onto the forearms, bring the palms together. So like you're creating little prayer hands. Bring your ears to the insides of your biceps and open up the shoulders. This also gives the wrist a break before we pick up the other side. Nice job. Coming back up, bring the hands underneath the shoulders into tabletop. We'll take the left leg back, toes point down, hips are level to the floor. You can bring the right bicep by the ear if you like. On the exhale, right elbow to the inside of that left knee, squeeze. Inhale, extend and lengthen. Exhale, right elbow, the outside of the knee. Inhale, extend. Good, exhale to the inside. Inhale. Exhale to the outside. Inhale. Nice. Float. Well, first hold, sorry. Hold for a couple breaths here. Lift from the underside of the belly. Now float that right hand down. Let's swing that leg across. Coming on the edge of the foot, bring your right shoulder toward your right hip. James Baraz says, mindfulness is simply being aware of what is happening right now without wishing it were different. Enjoying the pleasant without holding on when it changes, which it will. Being with the unpleasant without fearing it will always be this way, which it won't. I think that's really important for us to remember. Slowly unravel. Coming back, we'll lower the forearms down, bring the palms together, slide your ears to the insides of your biceps, draw your shoulders away from your ears, big shoulder stretch here. Keep breathing. Nice. We're going to begin to come up a little bit and then tuck the toes. So you can interlace the hands here, or you can have the arms parallel, about shoulder width distance apart. We're going to press the ears back, or press the chest back so the ears come to the insides of the biceps, and then begin to lift the hips into dolphin. Then begin to walk your dolphin out a little bit here. And if this doesn't feel good, you can always just keep the knees down. Come back to that shape we were just in. Great job. Go ahead and allow both heels to separate a little bit. Keep pressing the chest back, lifting the hips up and back. Good. Now we'll walk the feet back, coming into a forearm plank. So we're going to slide those hips down. So we're in one straight line here, push down into the forearm, shoulders away from those ears. You can always bring the knees down if you need to. 3 breaths. You got this. Hug the midline. Good. Float the hips down, tops of the feet to the mat. And then we'll go ahead and separate the hands. Slide the hands to alongside your hips. So slide them back. Elbows hug toward the rib cage. Shoulders draw away from those ears. Press into the tops of the feet, engaging your core. Draw your navel toward your spine. And then we'll begin to press up, coming into a cobra. Good. Crown is lifting, shoulders are drawing back and down. Breathe. Nice job. Lift up And then we'll take the knees underneath those hips, keep the fingers fanned wide. Hips are gonna go up and back into a down dog now. Feet are about hip width distance, ears are lining up with the insides of your biceps, crown moves forward toward your thumbs. Keep breathing. Take a big bend in the knees, and then we're gonna walk the feet to the front of our mat. Feet will be about hip width distance apart. You may wanna have a couple blocks handy, so feel free to grab whatever you need. And then line those feet up, bend those knees at the belly and rib cage, press to your thighs, let your crown fall toward the floor. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, create space in the neck. And then if you'd like, you can take elbow for elbow and we'll begin to rock side to side. So how often do we check out and become mindless? We either allow our thoughts to kind of consume us and get swept away with our emotions, or we just check out mentally. Bring your hands to your shins, lift up halfway for length. How many times have you traveled somewhere in a car only to arrive and not remember driving there? Or how many times have you been maybe eating while you're doing something else? You look down, the food's gone, and you don't remember having taken a bite. Or maybe you're in the middle of a conversation with somebody and your brain goes somewhere else and you have no idea what they just said to you. What if we lived every moment intentionally and with mindfulness? Imagine how much fuller our lives would be, and also how much more productive we would be. Exhale, fold it out. On the inhale, we're going to sweep all the way up, coming into tall mountain. Stretch and reach. Good. On the exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Take a moment to really plug in. So all four corners of the feet contacting the earth, nice and grounded, shoulders drawing back and down. You could even bring your hands alongside your hips if you like. And feel the earth beneath your feet. Feel the support. Feel your crown lifting upward. Be of heaven and earth here. On the inhale, gently sweep the arms up overhead. Good. Now we're going to kind of envision that we're basically tossing down the things of last year, like we're closing the door on 2020, but we're getting rid of negative energies, negative emotions, or anything else we don't want to carry with us as baggage into this new year. So on the exhale, I'm going to give you two options. One is to just bend those knees and begin to sweep the arms back, reaching behind you, and then coming into a forward fold with the arms reaching up. And then we'll sweep all the way back through, coming all the way up. So you're imagining that you're kind of throwing it down. Now, the other option is to literally throw it down. So it's exhale, inhale, coming all the way back up. So either it's nice and slow, exhaling, coming into that fold, or a little more emphatic, exhaling, inhaling back up. So whichever resonates for you, let's do a few of those. Exhaling. Beautiful. Last time. Inhaling. Good. Create a diamond with your index fingers and thumbs. And then we're just going to kind of turn from right to left, taking our zooming in our focus, our drishti, our attention to a single point of focus. Notice how everything else kind of blurs into the background. That is the key to mindfulness. It's not trying to take on too much, it's zeroing in on one thing at a time. Good. Go ahead and bring the hands down. We're going to float them along. Float the hands over the navel point. our little power point. Shoulders drawing back and down. This is the center and seat of our will, our sense of empowerment, purpose. Breathe. Single pointed focus is the key. So we talk about drishti as our gaze, like where we focus in our yoga practice, but our drishti is more than that. It's where we place our attention. And if we try to focus on too many things at once, we're not going to be nearly as successful as if we zero in on one thing at a time. Go ahead and shift your weight over to your left foot. We're going to bring the hands to the hips. Pick up the right knee. You can always place that foot on a block or keep the toes on the floor. So just see what works for your body. Nice job. Bring the arms into cactus arms, opening the heart here, shoulders draw back and down. And then we're going to exhale, bend the left knee and sink low. Inhale, lift up. You can reach the arms up if you like. Exhale, cactus arms, bend that left knee. Inhale, reach up. You can also just keep your hands to your hips. So listen to your body. Inhale up. And this time we're going to bring the hands to the hips and step that foot all the way back. Pivot it so that the toes are pointing toward the front right corner of your mat. You might need to toe heel your left foot to the left a little. Good. And then we'll go ahead and reach those arms up. On the exhale, cactus arms, open the heart. On the inhale, reach the arms up. On the exhale, sweep the arms wide as you fold forward into humble warrior. On the inhale, sweep the arms back up, warrior one. Exhale, cactus arms, opening the heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive over that leg. Humble warrior. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, arms out. Beautiful. Great place for a block. So you're going to take blocks on opposite sides of that front foot, or you can reach the hands to the earth, your choice. And then we're going to straighten that front leg, lengthening the spine here, and a half lift in pyramid. So the hips are level, spine is nice and long and straight. Hug that left hip in and back and let the right hip kind of sculpt forward and down. Beautiful. On the exhale, fold out. Keep breathing. Bend into your front knee. And then we're going to come on the ball of that back foot. You can either step it forward or take a moment to kick it up before you step it forward into a little modified warrior three. And then exhale, float that right foot down, bend the knees, fold it out. Good. Inhale, sweeping all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to do a little throwing it down. So letting go of what was. That was then, and this is now. That was then, and this is now. So kind of play with that idea in your brain as you let go of 2020. That was then, and this is now. So on the inhale, reaching up. Exhale, throw it down or reach it back. That was then. Inhale, coming back up. And this is now. Exhale. That was then. Inhale. And this is now. Exhale. That was then. Inhale. And this is now. Open your arms up to receive whatever lies in store for you. Like you're gathering it up in your heart or just creating space for it. Exhale, bring hands to heart, pause for a moment, come back to mountain. I'm going to just switch sides so you can see me. Good. We're going to slowly begin to shift our weight into that right foot. And then go ahead and pick up that left knee. Hands can be on hips, or you can reach the arms up into cactus arms. On the exhale, bend the right knee, sinking low. Inhale, straighten and lift. Exhale, bend and lower. Inhale, straighten and lift. Another great tool. Exhale, sink and lower. Inhale, lift. Hands to the hips, step it back. Left toes point toward the front left corner of the mat. You might need to toe heel the right foot to the right a little. Square the hips and shoulders to the front. Reach the arms up. Another great tool you can use is, and that's over. So whenever something concludes, and that's over, and now you're back to the present moment. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the heart. Inhale, arms reach up, warrior one. Exhale, swan dive over that leg, humble warrior. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, reaching up. Good. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive. Place the hands on the floor or to blocks. And then we're going to straighten that front leg. Begin to square and level the hips here in pyramid. Spine is long and straight in a half lift. Hugging that right hip in and back. And if you have space and you want to fold into it, exhale, fold out. Check in with your breath. Nice. On your next inhale, bend that knee, coming on the ball of that back foot. We can walk the hands forward. And then we'll kick that back foot up if that's available. Otherwise, just step forward. Lots of breath. Exhale, bend that knee, float the foot down, folding out. Nice job. On the inhale, lift halfway, and then we'll step those feet all the way back, coming into a down dog. You can always release the knees to the earth, coming into a tabletop half dog or a child's. Listen to your body. Nice job. Float the knees down. Take the knees wide. You can always place something behind the knees if you're healing in the knees. Set your tail back into down dog. Walk those hands forward or stack the hands and bring your forehead to your hands. Get nice and comfy here. So I mentioned this idea of focusing on one thing at a time. In yoga, it's called one-pointedness. One-pointedness is like developing laser-like focus and attention, like focusing a camera where everything else becomes blurry, but whatever it is you're focusing on. So we can do this and add our intention to it, really focusing on what it is that we want to achieve, just trying for one thing instead of trying to do too many things at once. Or when we are practicing mindfulness, can we just focus on one thing at a time? So if we're eating, we're just focusing on eating. If we're in a conversation with somebody, we're in that conversation and focusing our mind to pay attention and to listen and be present, et cetera, et cetera. So it's where we are able to have that laser-like focus. Master Chow Kuk Sui says, do not have too many objectives. One-pointedness is key to success. We're going to slowly lift up. Bring the knees or feet to one side, feet and the knees. And then we'll come onto our seat for just a moment. Extend the legs out in front of you. You can always create a little support for the seat, so you can fold up your blanket, bring the edge of your seat to the edge of your blanket if you like. Good. On the inhale, we're going to sweep up. On the exhale, hinge forward just to where you feel that stretch. You may notice you have a lot more space now at the end of your practice than at the beginning. On the inhale, sweeping up. Good. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, sweeping up. And exhale, reach forward. Just let the hands float down. Now, notice if the shoulders want to creep up and you're rounding and guarding that heart. Draw the shoulders back and down. Let the heart lead. Nice and open heart. Toes are pointing up, legs engaged. And then relax the head. Breathe here. Forward folds are very calming for the nervous system, for the body. They help us come back to homeostasis after all the activity of our practice. Same thing with twists, which we're going to do next. Good. Slowly walk the hands back toward you. And then we're going to pick up the right knee, flex into that foot, and then cross it over, sitting up nice and tall and lifted here. So long spine. If you notice you're leaning to one side, however, you might want to bring that foot back to the inside. Sitting up tall, lengthen. Hold on to the knee with your left hand, reach the right arm up. And then we're going to twist from the belly, then the chest, and then the head will follow. Place your hand down, press down to lift up, keeping the length in the spine. And then as you breathe, just allow the twist to deepen a little bit. So we're inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, maybe twisting out a little more without forcing. Check in with your breath. Nice job. On the inhale, sweep, reach that arm all the way back up and around. And then we'll switch sides. So hug that left knee in, flexing the feet, nice long spine, core engaged. Again, crossing over, or you can bring the foot to the inside. Make sure your hips are nice and level and that your seat is grounded. Lengthen upward through the crown. We'll hold on to that knee with the right hand, reach the left arm up. Begin the twist at the belly, and then begin to rotate. Floating that hand down, press down to rise up. Take your gaze over your shoulder or wherever's available for your neck. Remember, that body of yours is always giving you feedback on how to best show up for yourself, for your optimal health, for your wellness. Listen to your body and respond in a way that supports your healing, your growth, but without being in that push-pull, raga vesha. Good. Slowly begin to reach back up and around. Unravel those legs. Shake it out a bit. And then bend the knees. You can always create a support for the back of the head if you like. Bend the knees, and then we'll slowly come back down onto the back. Now take the next moment or two to kind of identify if there's something else your body needs. So maybe another twist, maybe a happy baby, maybe a plow, whatever it is that you feel your body needs. Now, if you're doing plow, please remove anything out from underneath your neck though, because that will not be safe. Beautiful job. And then you're going to slowly make your way into your final rest position. We're going to do a short little mindfulness meditation to close our practice. So get yourself as comfortable as possible, but be in a position where you feel like you can be awake and aware, and then close your eyes. Take a moment to become aware of how you are present in this room that you're in, how your body is represented in this moment, how your body is connected to the earth or any points of your body that are touching the floor or the props underneath you. Notice how your body is making contact with the floor. Simply notice. Maybe you start to notice any other physical sensations. Maybe you start to notice there's pain in a part of your body or tension somewhere. That's okay. Just simply observe it without attempting to make it go away. Just notice your body as it is present right here, right now. And then begin to focus your attention back to your breathing. Notice how the air moves through the nose, how your chest expands when you breathe in. Also notice how it relaxes when you breathe out. You may notice how the belly moves when you breathe. There's no need to control your breath or try to modify it. Simply witness it as it naturally occurs. Just breathing in and breathing out. Allow yourself to be present in this moment. Sooner or later, you'll notice you become a little distracted. Maybe you get distracted by thoughts or sounds or sensations in your body. That's fine. This is just how your mind works. You can always turn your attention back to your breath and let go of distractions. Breathe in, breathe out. And rather than focusing in a rigid way, let your attention softly rest on the breathing. Do not force yourself. Keep an open and gentle attitude. Just follow your breathing. Every time you find yourself getting distracted, just come back gently with compassion and kindness. Don't punish yourself. It's okay that your mind wanders. It's okay that your attention drifts away sometimes. Notice how the body reacts and just return to your breathing. If you find yourself being distracted many times, remind yourself that you are always the one who can turn your attention back. You have the power to do that. You can decide at any time to come back to this present moment simply by focusing on something that's occurring right now in this moment, in this case, your breath. Just taking the next few moments to practice this on your own. Where's your attention now? Is it still focused on the breathing, or is it elsewhere? If you're distracted, maybe you can notice where it has distracted you. A thought, sensation, emotion, a sound, and then bring it back. Focus on the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Victoria Moran said, in this moment, there's plenty of time. In this moment, you are precisely where you should be. In this moment, there is infinite possibility. Slowly begin to bring your attention back to this present moment. Take a deep breath in and an audible sigh out. Do that 3 times. Just cleansing the pathway for possibility. Breathing out the past. Gently gather your knees toward your chest. Begin to rock a few times side to side. Notice which side of your nose you're breathing out of more easily. And then roll to that side. Just pause there for a few moments. Taking with you all the awareness that you've had through your practice. Making a decision to bring that into your day, into this new year. Gently press yourself up to a seated position, taking your time. Bring your hands together at heart center, center and seat of our emotions, passions, purposes, endeavors, center and seat of our intentions that are born from deep within our soul. And just bow to your heart. As we move into this new year and close the door on 2020, let us take with us the lessons, the blessings, and the beauty that came out of some of the yucky, difficult circumstances of the year and of our lives this past year. And let us bring with us infinite possibility, mindful presence, the ability to navigate whatever this year has in store with grace and ease. And with love in our hearts. As Thich Nhat Hanh says, smile, breathe, and go slowly. Namaste and happy new year.